Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central.
Welcome to In Wheel Time, your place for entertaining car talk. Just ahead, Konrad has his weekly lesson in the car clinic. We'll have this week's auto news. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world Mars, King Konrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. And joining us right now, as a matter of fact, Mustang madman Randy Weldon. Were your ears burning, Randy?
Yes, they were, as a matter of fact.
Well, and do you know why they were burning?
No, actually, I don't. I was sitting here staring, looking for Suze. She finally came out from under the table.
Yeah, and, they should have been burning because we were talking about you with Alec Udell and your go-karting experience up there at his go-kart track.
He wouldn't tell us how well you did, so we're asking you.
Yeah, so how did you do in your mind?
On the track.
How what?
How did you do at the go-kart track at Alec Udell's place?
We were doing a tour with Woodlands Car Club out at Gullos Dam, and Alec is Dan's grandfather were out there, and that they were trying to get an event organized, and so we kind of offered to organize a monthly karting event, combined with a cruise-in. The cruise-in hasn't been really that successful, but the karting event has taken off and become a little league of its own.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So you didn't actually get on the track in a kart?
I have not.
Why not?
That's what we were wondering about.
Guys at my age, I don't recover like I used to when I get out of a rough riding vehicle,
I hear you.
And for me, I could probably get in the cart, but get a lift to get me out of the cart. I can't get up from something that low to the ground. My knees just don't work. So tell us about, is it next weekend? No, it's tomorrow morning, Coffee and Cars with a Cause.
Yeah, this weekend's Coffee and Cars for a Cause, the Woodlands TWCC. The Woodlands Cars and Coffee for a Cause, or Coffee and Cars for a Cause.
Where is it?
Can't wait to get up at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning and go do that.
Woodlands. And
Woodlands, it takes up miles of territory. Where in the Woodlands is it?
9595 Six Pines Drive in the Woodlands, Texas.
Oh, that narrows it down.
Yeah, Konrad, you got that. If you've ever been out to the Woodlands, Don, they have Market Square out there.
Yes.
Or Market Street.
Yep.
And it's actually in the Market Street.
Thank you.
And
everybody checks in at the Starbucks, and then it's right across from the Hyatt Centric.
And then what is the charity of choice tomorrow?
Konrad, I can see you talking, but I can't hear you.
Okay. Ask him. What's the charity for tomorrow?
What is the charity?
It's whatever you want to donate.
No, what is the charity?
Dana, who originated
it doesn't make any difference. So are you going to bring one of your Mustangs?
I may or may not tomorrow. I don't know if I'll drive the truck or the Mustang.
Okay. Have you just backed out of the whole Mustang thing? Is that kind of what it is? You just gone to the social side of things?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I'm still involved on. I'm still on the national board. I still do a lot of Mustang stuff and help organize things.
Okay. Well, just checking. There was a time that you were deeper into it, shall we say
heavier,
locally.
Yeah. Well, I was president of the Northside Mustang Car Club for 4 years, and so I really dedicated myself to making that a very a very out there club.
Successful.
We did stuff every weekend. A lot of times we did stuff during the week, but on my Fridays would kick off, at 5 o'clock and run all the way through Sunday with just nonstop events. But it was a thing where I like seeing people have smiles on their faces, and that put a lot of smiles on a lot of people's faces. They get off work and it was something they could get away from and just have a good time and relax. Enjoy, other people that had like interests. It's a lot of fun.
Are you still wrenching on your own cars, Randy?
Am I still what, Don?
Are you wrenching on your own cars?
So I haven't actually wrenched on a car probably since sometime in the 1990s. Somebody made a remark to me one time that they could make more money doing what they do good and paying somebody else to wrench on their cars.
So you do exactly that. Randy
Yes,
is a he's plugging and unplugging a zillion wires.
Oh, he's Mike Mars.
Well, I think you do big complex TV systems. Is that correct?
Yeah, I do. If you ever stay at a hotel and you see the electronic program guide, I basically create and build those guides, install the systems that make them work.
So you're the one to blame for
Or
the
if you're in a hospital, same thing.
To blame for the 38-1 and the 39-3 patterns.
Dot, yeah.
Yeah, instead of say KPRC or KTRK, instead of channel 13 showing up at 31-1, I tell it to show up at 13.
And then, how many people are you guys expecting tomorrow at the Woodlands?
If the weather is good tomorrow, if it rains, it becomes a different story. But if the weather's good, that location actually fills up at about 150 cars. But what we've noticed is when I originally got involved with Dana Pritchard with this back in 2012, she started in 2009. But when I got involved in 2012, people were starting to show up about 8 o'clock in the morning. Now we get there before 6.
Just to find
People are
space.
in line already at, before 6. We start letting them in at 6:30. And the people that come early have a tendency to leave starting about 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then other people come in a little later. And actually, they keep the location full the entire time up until 11 o'clock.
Wow. And there's no entry fee, but you do ask for a donation, correct?
It's just a donation. There's no fee. It's a cruise in, but it's a cruise in for a cause. So everything goes to charity. It's any denomination you want to donate. We have people come up with bags of change. Dana likes taking dollar bills. I'll take a penny and higher. No fractions of a penny.
But bills with multiple zeros.
Pardon me?
Bills with multiple zeros would be welcome as well.
You'd be surprised how many people actually donate some fairly large amounts.
Well, I don't know that I'd be that surprised. I find that the automotive community as a whole is very philanthropic. They find those causes that touch their heart, and they're very connected to them.
Theoretically, they do that.
Theoretically. You have to learn how to pronounce it.
The nice thing about TWCC is every quarter, the Market Street Association chooses the charity. And so every quarter that charity changes. Last quarter it was Yes to Youth. I'd have to look and see what this quarter is. I think it's St. Baldrick's, I believe. But anyhow, that's just a monthly event we enjoy doing. I've been helping pull the clubs together so that the local Mustang clubs can attend the Mecum auction at the end of March. And then you kick off April, you go into car show season again. Actually, car show season here seems to have become all year long now.
Yeah.
But in April, I believe April 9th, you've got the Mustang Club of Houston car show. May 8th over in Beaumont, you've got the Wild Horse Mustang Club car show over there. So, we all get busy this time of year. You guys know that.
Yes, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Are you the car show that takes place tomorrow, the cruise in, is it all cars welcome or is it Mustangs?
No, it's open to every make and model.
Yeah. And what are the majority of cars that show up out there?
For a long time, we had a lot of Mustangs coming in. I think before that, they had a lot of Camaros coming in. Here recently, we've had a lot of Corvettes coming in. But it's a pretty good mix. I mean, you've got vehicles from Europe that are over here. You've got vehicles that I don't know where they came from that show up. It's a really good mix of cars. You've got some of the high-end European sports cars as well.
Well, yeah, that is the Woodlands.
It's a nice mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine that the majority of the folks that come in for that cruise in live in the area.
You know what, Don? You'd be shocked. We've got people. Jeff Crawl's one of the guys who lives down in Richmond, Texas, that drives up every now and then. We've got people that come up from Pearland, Sugarland. I'm actually shocked a lot of times when some of the people show up.
Well, it also speaks to the quality of the event as well. You know, it's consistent. Everybody knows where it is and when it is.
Well, and it's rain or shine, so we're there no matter what. One of the really big things is everybody really kind of respects each other, and you don't have a lot of burnout, so they respect the facility. Well, actually, I don't think we've had a burnout per se. Engine revving is kept to a minimum. One time we had a group of young kids come through, and this is one time since I've been involved in 2012. Just some group of kids that had never been there before came in. They came in a little fast. We asked them to slow down. There was a little verbal altercation. A little bit of pushing and shoving started, and the police showed up and gave them a choice. They could leave and not go to jail, or they could stay and go to jail. So they left reasonably quick.
Well, and
this is an adult event you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, they expect people to behave like adults. Mm-hmm. But that's again what makes it a quality event. You know,
well, not only that, but also the venue itself, because you're parked in front of all those shops, and it's a quaint area of the Woodlands. It's back behind the mall, and it's really a cool event. And I think that just the venue itself lends to a nice, comfortable morning to gather and talk with friends and people that like what you do.
And I'm sure Starbucks and all of the restaurants in the area love you guys.
Oh, they do. They do. We've got quite a few restaurants that surround that place. And then, as Dawn said, you've got the green in the middle of the place that people can actually – it's just very relaxing to sit there in the mornings.
Yeah, no doubt. Randy, it's always great.
Nice venue.
It's always great to talk to you. We thank you for taking the time. By the way, that calendar behind you, it's March now.
Yeah.
Just thought I would say it.
2022.
It's a 2022 calendar, but it does.
Making sure he knew that.
That'll give you an idea how hard I've. That'll give you an idea how much I've been focused on getting these servers back online with the electronic program guides.
Okay.
Electronic calendars, they work too.
I'm going to change that now that you've mentioned it.
Say hey to Danny for us.
Servers back online with the electronic program. I will do that.
Okay.
Electronic calendars, they work too.
I'm going to change that now. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, Randy.
Servers back online with the electronic program. I will do that.
Okay.
So join them tomorrow.
Change that now. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right. Thank you.
Back online with the electronic program.
I don't know where
join them
all that is coming from, but I'm going to turn my my laptop.
Max Headroom.
Max Headroom, yeah. So, all right, time now for Conrad's Car Clinic. What's in the Car Clinic today?
Well, remember last week we talked about the recall.
I don't remember last week. Are you kidding? I can barely remember how I got out of bed this morning.
Are you off of Prevagen?
I was going to say prednisone.
Cosequin. You know, we talked last week about the recalls about the automatic emergency braking system. So I thought this week we talk a lot about what they are and how they work. AEB, automatic emergency braking, is an active braking system that activates the car's brakes when a potential collision is detected. As its name suggests, it works automatically. You don't really have to do anything. And I don't believe there's a defeat switch in most cars that you can actually turn it off. But it's going to apply the brakes at a force that the car determines is necessary to avoid the collision. The system may detect other vehicles. It's designed to detect other vehicles, pedestrians, and cyclists, and mitigate crashes by initiating the braking when hazardous conditions arise. And many times it's because the driver's just not paying attention. But it also, if you're braking too soft for the imposing accident ahead of you, the system will apply the brakes even harder, even to the point of going into ABS. So it's somewhat all connected within a couple other systems. Another part of that is called forward collision warning. When your car suddenly stops on its own, it's using the AEB to do that. But sometimes it's also flashing lights and trying to get you to pay attention. And then you have automatic reverse emergency braking that's out there as well. So, when you're in reverse and there's cross traffic going on, it's going to sense that and apply the brakes and keep you from driving into it. Now, how the system works is it uses, and different manufacturers go about it different ways, radars on the front of the vehicle, on the rear of the vehicle, sometimes in the bumpers, sometimes in the windshield, and cameras on the front and the rear of the vehicle to determine what's out there, how fast the vehicle is going, and how hard the brakes have to be applied to avoid the accident. And all those parameters are pre-calculated into the vehicle, and that's why sometimes, you might get an intermittent application of, something as simple as a bug getting into, or a couple of bugs getting into some of those sensors, or, getting the sensors to activate. But the cameras, if it's a camera system, you need to kind of keep the car clean. Those cameras don't work through a lot of mud and debris, especially on somebody who lives out there in Neederville.
Oh. Yeah, and all the construction on I-10 that's never ending.
And love bug season coming.
So the software is trying to calculate the potential of the crash, and all of the systems are meant to work together, and that is the forward collision warning, the automatic braking, the automatic reverse braking, and more and more cars are coming with that as standard equipment.
All right. Thank you, sir. Some of the stories making automotive news headlines. Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares has one word to describe the sound that will come from Dodge's upcoming electric muscle car. Shocking is the word.
Oh.
As the Hellcat era comes to a close, the Dodge team working on creating a sound that will provide the backdrop for a new age of performance. Tavares, citing the company's market research, said consumers in their 30s are open to the idea of electric muscle. Dodge said it will release its first battery electric muscle car in 2024. The brand will show an electric concept this year. Chrysler plans to launch its first battery electric by 2025 and do away with internal combustion engines by 2028. Good luck on that.
Oh, I don't know. I think Chrysler, Stellantis, and Dodge are going to be so far ahead of the program. Think about it. What are they doing? They're taking an 800 horsepower engine out and putting in something electric that's going to be more powerful and have more torque at the hit. Because to me, Dodge is, and Mopar in general is a little bit on the I'm crazy side of performance cars and trucks. Offering to the public 700 plus horsepower is not uncommon. And now I'm driving around, I'm seeing all these Hellcats on the street, and I'm like, I wonder if that person has any clue how fast that car really is. And now they're going to go EV, where it's even that much more powerful. I think they're going to create a class all to themselves.
But to do away completely with the internal combustion engine?
I don't know that anybody's going to do away with it completely. I know there's talk about it, but, and the talk's getting louder as we approach $5, $6, and $7 a gallon gasoline.
I think that eventually that will come back down.
Oh, I do too.
Once people get back in their right mind and allow us to open up the oil spigot here in the United States as opposed to importing it from Russia and Iran.
It still comes back to this is not a consumer-driven market change.
The EVs in general?
Right.
I think there is a consumer-driven component of it, but it's way smaller than they're
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
alleging.
The consumer drive to change the entire market to do away with combustion engines in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever it is, that demand is not there. There are external forces that are driving that.
Don said gas prices are going up. You don't think that natural gas and electricity is not going up? It's going up too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it all is.
It's going to hurt across the board.
We did a story a few weeks ago about that very thing and the fact that, I'm going to get me an EV and I'm going to save all this money.
Wrong.
When, in essence, it's not true. It does cost more to own an electric vehicle when you go to plug it in than it does to, well, at least at the time when we had the story.
Well, I think electric rates are going up proportionately, too.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
they will be, but not. I mean, they're a little bit behind. But yes, we will.
But we're already seeing it. The provider that we have over there.
Who is the provider over there?
Entergy.
What?
Entergy. Yeah, they're based out of Louisiana.
Yeah,
but
we know.
They on their billing system, it shows the fuel charge, and that changes as whatever it costs. And as the price of fuel to run the generators goes up, I mean, one of our bills, it basically doubled. But the amount
The
of
fuel cost doubled.
Well, the fuel cost is what caused the bill to double. Yes, because the amount of electricity we used was it was less than 1% difference, but the bill was double because of the fuel charges going up.
I paid $3.75 a gallon yesterday.
Wow.
My wife paid $3.80.
What did you do? Stop at the 7-Eleven where it's $5 a gallon?
No, I stopped at a Valero off of Dowling in the middle of Beaumont.
I caught Walmart the other day at $3.18, but I had to sit in line 20 minutes to get it.
$3.29 I paid.
And if we pay attention, it's going up every day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Kathy pointed that out where she
100
drove by a gas station in the morning and it was like 15 cents more
The
at the end of the day.
afternoon, yeah.
And what would they hit? $117 a barrel yesterday.
118.
118 yesterday.
I thought you had Larry, Darrell, and Darrell provider out there.
Larry, Darrell, and Darrell.
Well, they're down the street.
That's the alternative.
Yeah.
And the suburbs. General Motors has sold its stake in beleaguered EV startup Lordstown Motors. GM invested in Lordstown in August 2022, quote, help facilitate the sale of the plant and help give the company an opportunity to restart production. Yeah, sure.
I'm hoping
But
GM got their money's worth out of it.
Yeah.
Because they've done plenty of things in the past where they didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got to remember, General Motors owned Lotus for a period of time.
You know, I love the way that the PR machine at General Motors generates crap like that. You're going to believe that? Really? Who wrote that?
Spend all this money for your benefit.
The Spinmeisters.
Well, yeah, and you know, they say that because they want to make sure that the stockholders are going, oh, they're doing a great job.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it
Where's
is.
my dividend?
A number of corn and soybean growers associations, the American Fuel and Petrochemical Manufacturers and others, are challenging the EPA's tougher vehicle emissions rules. Corn growers, a Valero Energy subsidiary, and other ethanol producers said the new EPA rules revising emission requirements through 2026, quote, effectively mandate the production and sale of electric cars rather than cars powered by internal combustion engines. The EPA did not immediately comment.
There is a case that's about to be presented before the Supreme Court to reduce the amount of EPA ability to write regulation because they think that the EPA has become over-regulating the industry right now.
The EPA rules reverse former President Donald Trump's rollback of car pollution cuts and aim to speed a U.S. shift to more EVs. Biden wants 50% of all new vehicles sold in 2030 to be EV or plug-in hybrid models, but has not endorsed California's plan to phase out new gas-powered light-duty vehicles by 2035. There's going to be a war there.
Well, and is the administration really upset at $7, $8, $9, $10 a gallon gasoline?
And didn't they just
'Cause that just drives
They don't care.
nominate a new person for the EPA in his administration?
I believe
I
so.
don't think they did. Then that's the cause.
The cargo ship that caught fire in the Atlantic while transporting roughly 4,000 Volkswagen Group vehicles in the U.S. has sunk despite efforts to tow it to safety. The Felicity Ace sank 220 nautical miles off the coast of Portugal's Azores Islands around 9 a.m. local time on Tuesday after being battered by waves and leaning 45 degrees to its starboard side, according to the ship's operator. Hasta luego. Volkswagen had VW, Porsche, Audi, Bentley, and Lamborghini branded models on the vessel, which was on its way to Rhode Island from Germany's Emden port when the fire broke out on February the 16th. In a projection, assuming all vehicles would be lost, the risk modeling company Russell Group last week estimated that the incident could cost the automaker at least $155 million. About $438 million worth of goods were aboard the ship, $401 million of which were cars.
Well, I think we talked about before the show that they think they lost all the vehicles. Well, they don't really know. I still assume that of the 24 sailors that were on that ship, at least 25 vehicles were transferred to something else, and they took the Bentleys and Lamborghinis and take them home with them.
And all of those vehicles are going to be under $20,000.
And I'm wondering,
No doubt.
I'm wondering what's going to be washing up on the shores of the Azore Islands in a few years.
But there's no telling what's going to be exuded from those cars.
Oh yeah.
And how deep did it go down?
So
they didn't say. They don't. I don't know
how deep it is there.
Yeah.
When you said that it was going to cost the manufacturer,
that means that it's going to cost the manufacturer. There's got to be a deductible.
Right.
And so the manufacturer pays one price, but the insurance company is going to pay
the rest.
Yeah.
What if there's gap insurance on that?
Yeah, think about that.
Only when you buy it.
well, I know, but I don't. I've been trying to find some place where it talks about the insurer carrier for that, because a lot of companies,
Lloyd's of London, probably.
well, a lot of companies are self-insured on some of those big numbers, because
And it could very well be.
and that's the reason that I thought it was
But
interesting.
it would be a different company that self-insured it under the umbrella of, say, for instance, Volkswagen. Right. It wouldn't be Volkswagen themselves. I mean, it would be their insurance company under their umbrella. Right. Now, GM used to have...
Oh, GM still does it to this day.
Do they?
They're totally self-insured, but they're self-insured under the name of another company.
Correct.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, but I guess my point is it's coming out of their pocket, not the insurance company.
Well, the insurance company. Yes, I understand what you're saying, but I think it's the insurance.
Ultimately, the insurance company pays the claim, but Volkswagen is funding the insurance company through other means. But yes,
Theoretically.
it's all
Theoretically.
It's all interconnected. So, we started talking about the Hellcat, that the Dodge is no longer going to make Challenger Hellcats with a manual transmission as of April.
I didn't know they.
Wow.
I didn't know they were producing them.
Yeah, it
with
was special
manuals.
order.
Special order.
You could still get them with a
Why,
6
I don't even know why you'd. If I had a choice, I would buy manual transmission. Shifts faster with the automatic.
Oh, way faster.
Well,
way faster.
And you got a little more control over it.
Dude, boom, 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 boom. It hits those gears hard, man.
Well, and if you try and paddle shift it, I mean, you've got to pay attention because it hits so fast.
Yeah.
You're better
You're
off
up on
just
the
leaving
rev
it
limit.
to drive and go.
But you wouldn't know that any of the models that you had.
No, I couldn't tell you.
And
that
you
for
also
a
heard
fact.
that Ford is again cutting production of Navigators, Expeditions, and Super Duty pickup trucks because of chip shortages.
Quick break now. You're on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
Saturday, March 19th, 2022 is the premiere of the all-new Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In, and you're invited. Tailpipes and Tacos kicks off a new seasonal format, and first up is the Spring Cruise In at the Lupi Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m., Saturday, March 19th. Tailpipes and Tacos will award trophies for the best hot rod, best classic, and best modern classic, so make plans now. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest cruise in, and this is where you'll enjoy seeing the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods, along with Lupi Tortilla breakfast tacos and adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and all cars will automatically compete for custom Lupi trophies and other prizes. It all happens at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. Get your ride ready for the all-new Spring Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, March 19th. It's going to be a huge car show, and spectators are welcome. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there, too. Let's celebrate the arrival of spring and the return of Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, March 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. at the Lupi Tortilla in Katy. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Is your business or company looking to stand out in a crowded advertising market? Looking to reach the real auto enthusiast? Well, you found it. You're listening or watching In Wheel Time, and so are your fellow enthusiasts. The In Wheel Time Car Show now reaches 500,000, and we can put together a marketing plan that will engage them in your product, business, or service. To get the tires rolling, just shoot us an email to our marketing director, Jeff Zekin. His address is jeff at InWheelTime.com. If you're in charge of your company's small, medium, or large business anywhere in the U.S., let the On Hold Company help you retain customers and promote your business on your telephone system. Promote special sales or company info when placed on hold. The On Hold Company provides custom on-hold messages with professional male or female voices, licensed background music with no long-term contract, no monthly recurring bill, and updates your messages as needed. Call the On Hold Company at 713-223-HOLD or go to onhold.net. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.